Okay, my bad. So again, when we're talking about cultural, sorry, it's because whenever I present, my mind goes blank. Um, Whenever we talk about the cultural, okay, I'm gonna run out of time. But when we talk about the cultural community, it's about like the cultural characteristics that it has. For example, it could be either religion, it could be music, it could be what defines our community. At least that's what I got how I understood the concept of the question. Um, and as rich agricultural heritage, the whole town revolves about around agriculture. Sorry about that. For relative location about our community, I put down Firebaugh is a small town located in Fresno County in California, situated in the central part of the state within the San Joaquin Valley. The town is approximately 40 miles west of Fresno, the country seat, and lies along the banks of the San Joaquin River. Um, the San Joaquin River is an important part of our community, and I think I'll touch on it a little bit later. Um, so we're gonna talk about Boston community real quick. I mean, sorry. Oh my God, hold on, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second. I have a lot of slides open. So my past and current experiences. I'm not gonna try to look at the slides that much, but from my past and current experiences in Firebaugh, it's really nothing but more like positive things. When we're talking about more culturally, um, we see a lot of representation of Hispanic heritage. Um, Maybe back then it was a little bit more than what it is right now. I think it's gonna sound mean, but right now it's a little bit more whitewashed. Um, there's not as much. Okay, I'm lying. It's more whitewashed than it used to be before, but with culture, we see celebrations like in schools, like Dia de los Muertos. We usually do projects that represent Hispanic heritage. We have like what I wrote right here, the Firebaugh Candle or Brandel Festival, which is a carnival where we like have Mexican food, other type of food. We have a type of music like country. We have type of music like grupos, like zapateado, and all that good stuff. Currently, um, I engage in these type of events, and I try to be part of the community because I mean, I live here. Well, I used to live there, and I spent most of my time over there more than I do here in Mendota. So, why not? In addition, uh, we have parades every December to give a warm welcome to many cultural element. I mean, to give a warm welcome to many holidays that involve many cultural elements like food, like as I mentioned, food, music, dancing, and many other things. Religiously, every year the St. Joseph's Catholic Church, we celebrate the Virgin Mary on September 8th and December 12th, which is very important for our culture and for our beliefs. This In this small town, almost everyone knows each other, and I think we inherited that from other people, from our culture. Because from where I come from, everyone knows. Not that everyone knows each other, but we like to get along with each other, and I think not in that's not like that in every culture. Even though some of us have differences, we try to communicate so we have if it makes any sense, a flowing community. Um, these experiences make me have a deep appreciation for our country, not country, sorry, for our community, and its cultural background. What defines this community is its symbols. Like I mentioned, uh, festivities like Dia de los Muertos, festivities like what I mentioned about the Virgin Mary, festivities like the parades in December. There's a lot of things. See what I wrote down here. Fire was known for its agriculture rules. We kind of love, okay, blah blah blah. I went over that. Um, Racial and ethnic class composition. Firebaugh has predominantly a higher Hispanic population. Out of the over 8,000 people, and I think it was like about 8,800 something, or 8,100 something, 96% is Hispanic, with the mix of other racial groups like 3% white, I think it was, and like 0.2% black, 0.1%, I think it was Asian, and this town's socioeconomic status varies with the big portion of people working in the agriculture related industries like the fields, warehouses. And then I'll probably put up an image of this slide right here, but I can't move it because if I move it to show you what I'm looking at, it's gonna disconnect. and then I'm gonna have to like redo it all over again. But anyway, enough commercial break. It's just showing a graph of how there's 53% predominantly. There's more male than female. There's about 53% male, which 96% is Hispanic, and 47% female. So, hope you guys got that. So like I mentioned in class, when we're talking about the CBR and CDR, the crude birth rate and death rate, I really couldn't find anything specific until a little bit later, but only about CBR, about specifically Firebaugh, since it's a small community. The closest thing I could find was the the county. So the fertility rate in the Fresno County, the closest I got was 2023, is 62.2 per 1,000 women ages between 15 to 44. This means that on average there was about 61.2 births of every 1,000 women in this age group. For the death rate, on the other hand, was in 2022. I couldn't get any closer information. If you guys do get some information that's more accurate, please let me know. I would really appreciate that. There were about 8,543 deaths among Fresno County residents. The death rate was 841.5 deaths per 100,000 population. This is equivalent to 8.4 deaths per 1,000 people. And there's another image that I found about the fertility rate here in Firebaugh, which, just to keep it short, I'll try to put an image. It's 5%. 5% of women between the age of 15 to 19, and then the majority is between the age of 30 and 39. From 30 to 35, it's 2%, and from 35 to 39, it's 27%. Give me one second. Population growth. When we're talking about the fertility, how does it affect the population? How does it affect us? I honestly couldn't think of anything, so I had to make some little research. What I found out is that the fertility rate indicates that there's a steady number of births in the country which can contribute to the population growth. The death rate, although it has decreased from the previous year, it still represents a significant number of deaths. The decrease in death rate suggests that the impact of COVID-19 has lessened throughout the years, which is a positive sign for our public health, so our overall well-being. A steady fertility rate can lead to a younger population, which might increase the demand for educational services like with childcare, pediatric healthcare, and all that stuff. So, as you guys know, the pyramid is like this and like this. Well, actually, it goes like this, and then it goes like this, and then it goes like that. So it's like a little piece of, you know what. The death rate, especially if it continues to decrease, can indicate improvements in our healthcare and overall living conditions. This could lead to a more stable and healthier population, which is really good. When we talk about healthcare services, with a huge fertility rate, there will be a continued need for maternal and child healthcare services. Decreasing death rate suggests that healthcare services might be improving, which is beneficial for the overall well-being of the community, like I just mentioned. So right now in this slide, I have a picture of a population pyramid, which I'll try to put a picture in there. I'm probably lying. I probably won't be able to put a picture in there, but I will do my best because I don't know how to edit. So human and social capital. This community has strong social networks with like many families often participating in local religious and cultural organizations. Like I mentioned about, like, people usually gather outside the St. Joseph's Church and they just chill there. They listen to music, they play music, they have food, they worship the Our Lady of Guadalupe, and all that stuff. We have neighborhood gatherings and community events, like I mentioned about the carnival, which play a very crucial role in our cohesion of our community. You, even here in Mendota, you see people like outside, because Mendota and Firebaugh, they're really similar. So you see people outside, you see neighbors talking to each other, and I think that's really cool. So we're gonna talk about major infrastructure, which is one of the parts that took me more to research, something that I didn't know a lot about. I had an idea of, but I didn't know more about, and I learned a lot, and I still could learn a lot. So we're gonna talk about transportation. So Firebaugh is connected by the 33, state route of 33. Without the 33, I think it would be very, very difficult for um, residents not only here in Firebaugh, but from Dos Palos, sorry, from Firebaugh, Dos Palos, Mendota, a lot, a lot. Even for Professor Mirrorless, I think he would not be able to get here if it wouldn't be for that. Because he comes from Kalinga, and then he has to drive through State Road 33. And even if he left through the I-5 straight, go like a whole circle, which would take like more than 2 hours, um, just driving over there, I think. I'm not completely sure. Basically, we would not work without that. It wouldn't be as an easy flow as it is right now. Utilities. The city has a municipal water system that sources that sources streets and distributes water to residents and businesses. For example, I work at Pacifica Pizza. It used to be called Pacifica Pizza. It's called Firebaugh Pizza now. But without that, we wouldn't have water. I wouldn't be able to make pizza because we need water for the dough. I wouldn't be able to work in the fields because we need water for the trees to grow. Therefore, if there wouldn't be water for the trees to grow, I wouldn't have a job. Obviously, we probably wouldn't even be alive. But anyway, we have a sewage and waste management. Firebaugh, it stinks, dude. It's towards like the high school, towards the back roads. It stinks. But anyway, the waste management, they handle residential and commercial waste. So I think that's pretty important. But it stinks. Like, it really stinks. Like, you have no idea. Like, I run through there and it stinks. So we have our electricity powered like many other towns. We have a PG&E, which maintains the electrical grid area, and the gas. Communication. Oh, give me a second. This thing move. Communication. We have internet and telecommunications. Not everyone in Firebaugh has it. About 77%, or rounding up, 78% of people have it. But the rest don't. That's because maybe they live in the country, they can't afford it, because we have a 31.9% poverty rate in Firebaugh. What does that mean? Out of 10 people, 3 are poor. It doesn't mean they're like on the streets. Maybe some people are. Don't get me wrong. Some people are. But that means they're living paycheck to paycheck. So you can't live off of a minimum wage job. That's why people nowadays, young people too, they have 2 jobs, and they're still going to school, and it's crazy. I think it's cool. Mad respect. But I think that has a lot to do with culture. For example, for my culture, we were taught to work for what we want. If we want something, you gotta work for it, and I think that comes to play. But anyway, I think I'm going way off topic, and I'm pretty sure I already went above the limit. So I'm gonna try to like wrap it up a little bit. So we have postal services, which is the post office. We have one in Firebaugh too. Public services, we have clinics and healthcare services that provide medical services for residents. But for more specialized care, you do have to travel to Fresno, which sucks because if there's traffic, it takes about an hour or even more sometimes. You could drive to Mendota, but it's the same thing. It has more resources than the one in Firebaugh does, but if it's like an emergency, like for example, my uncle, he had a seizure. We took him to Mendota. They got us in trouble because they're like, hey, like, he's not good. Take him to, he got airlifted. If it wouldn't happen for that, 5 minutes late. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. We have educational institutions like the FLDUSD school district. It's an acronym for Firebaugh Las Altas Unified School District, which includes elementary, middle school, and high school. We also have a community college, which I think is pretty cool because all of the schools that I mentioned, I know I'm going off topic, but I am trying to explain the best I can. They offer a great amount of opportunities, like they really do. It's just up to you if you take advantage of them or not. Economic infrastructure, commercial areas. Firebaugh has a variety of local businesses. You see like supermarkets, you see like nail salons. There's a lot of entrepreneurs in Firebaugh. You just gotta look for them. There's a lot of restaurants that serve the community. If you search up Firebaugh, if it's a good place to live, and you go to the reviews, you're gonna see some comments talking about how there's like a lack of, well, they're old comments, but they mainly said that we have Pizza Factory, we have Giant Burger, and Pacifica Pizza, and the rest is Mexican food. And I think that speaks a lot about our community. We're all Hispanic, so I think that has a lot to do with it. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen over here. So recreational facilities. When we talk about recreational facilities, we're talking about the fact that Firebaugh has several parks. We have the Dunkel Park. We have a couple parks under the bridge that's like next to the river, which I think is pretty cool. And we have the Maldonado Park. And the Dunkel Park is one of the most important because that's where we hold the carnival. Uh, that's where we showcase our culture with music, with food at the carnival, with the stands, and I think the carnival is just a great place for everyone to interact. In the Maldonado Park, on the other hand, you have something we call the remate, which is like a flea market for those of you that don't know. They sell food, they have music, and it's just a good place for everyone in town, no matter the age group, to get along, to communicate, to be like, hey, how's your day? How's the week been going? It's about to end. It's about to be Friday. You get where I'm going. Sports and cultural venues. This city has sports field, like in the Maldonado Park, for example. We have two baseball fields. They mainly use them as a soccer field too. They just put like some freaking goals and you just play ahí. Y pues sí, that's pretty much it for the sports. We do have sports for schools and stuff, but obviously, well, not all schools have it, which I'm really thankful for. I think that's pretty cool. There's a lot of venues for local culture events and activities too. And I think we're on the last slide. No, two more. I'm sorry. Local government. I'm gonna speed it up. City council. We have city council. The Firebaugh is governed by a city council consisting of elected members. If you walk around in any town, you're gonna always see vote for this, vote for this, and vote for this. Fun fact: my tío is the mayor of Firebaugh. Anyway, the council is responsible for making decisions on local policies, budgets, and community developments. The mayor is typically chosen among the civil council members and serves as the ceremonial head of the city, as well as presiding over council meetings. Community involvement. Even though a lot of people don't regularly attend council meetings, other political events, there are still opportunities for us to get involved. Public hearings, community forums, and local events that provide platforms for residents to voice their opinions and concerns. For example, recently, for the last year, they've been trying to fix the 33, and the road was pretty damn caca. Like it was like it was pretty. I don't want to say it was pretty caca. You get where I'm going. So political issues involves like infrastructure, improving local infrastructure such as roads, utilities, public services, is a continuous priority for the city council. But since there's like not a lot of people voicing their concerns for what needs to be fixed, they just don't. But sometimes too is because they don't know they could do that. Anyway, demographics and representation. We have a diverse population, even though 96% is Hispanic. We still have Arabic, we still have Asian, we still have, well, Arabic is Middle Eastern, but you get the point. We have Middle Eastern, Asian, Black, and White, and Hispanic. So we have 5 that I know of. We have a couple natives too, so that's 6. Where I'm going with this is that we mix. We share our different type of beliefs, and we just get along because of the way we communicate, the ideas we share, the beliefs we share, and all that stuff. Major public and private institutions. Damn, how much did I write? Okay, so we have the Alpha D USD system, which I already went over, which is a middle school. Okay, I already went over that. The city government, I already went over that. We have a city hall, which is a center for local government operations, including including city council meetings, public records, and other municipal services. Public services includes the fire department, the police department, and public works. These services are essential for maintaining the safety and the infrastructure of the community. Fun fact, I got stopped 3 times for walking at night by the police. That means that the town has really no problems when it comes to safety, because the cops have nothing better to do than to stop you for walking at night. I'm just kidding. I am really thankful for what they do for us. If it wouldn't be for the firefighters, if it wouldn't be for the cops, I think there would be a lot of chaos. So I'm really grateful for the public services that this town provides. Healthcare facilities. We do have clinics and health centers, but they're pretty small. But other nearby cities like Mendota, they offer a larger amount of resources. This is where I got my glasses because I'm freaking blind. but you could also go to Fresno for like St. Agnes Hospital. I also went to Madera when I broke my fingers, but that hospital is now closed. So the closest one, like hospital, is gonna be Fresno. Private private institutions is gonna be in the agricultural business. We're gonna have things like warehouses where we do packaging. I worked in a couple warehouses, just one actually. I'm a liar. Like the Wonderful Company. We have Tomatech. We have Red Rooster. It's pretty cool. Like they offer jobs, which is the most important part of, which is pretty important. And I think it's pretty cool that some of these companies, like the Wonderful Company, they reach out to more than just Firebaugh. They reach out to more than just California, more than just the nation, because, for example, in Mexico, from where I'm from in Sinaloa, they sell products right there, like from the Wonderful Company. That's from here. I think that's pretty cool. About, I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Other agricultural services that provide equipment for agriculture, like the pipes that you see entering Firebaugh, supplies and services to support other farming activities. Local businesses, we have retail services, small businesses including grocery stores, restaurants, and service providers contribute to the local economy and meet the daily needs of our residents. Entrepreneurship, there are opportunities for local entrepreneurs to start and grow their business. For example, this guy, his name is Rafa. He started a small business. Like, let's say my room is pretty small, so imagine a little room with a lot of weights. And he started his little business of having a gym, and now he has 3 locations, two here in Firebaugh and one in San Joaquin, which is pretty cool, don't you think? That's an entrepreneur, and it's pretty cool just to think about, like coming from Firebaugh and then like making 3 business. It's pretty cool. Major industries. We have agriculture. We produce a lot of crops, including almonds, pistachios, grapes, tomatoes, cotton, and a lot of other fruits and vegetables. We have dairy and livestock. We have agribusiness that includes companies involved in processing and packaging and distribution of agricultural products, like I mentioned. And we have food processing, like canneries and packaging plants, like I mentioned, and wine production. It's pretty cool, but I can't drink wine yet. We got agricultural support businesses that provide farming equipment, machinery, and tools. Fertilizers and pesticides are part of like something new that without it, crops would die. Like, if it wouldn't be for this new like technology that we're developing, I think some people say that it isn't healthy to do that to the plants, because then we're eating basically pesticides and we're eating chemicals. But without it, we will not have the food we have. So it might not be the cleanest source of food, but at least we have food in our table. Retail services, like I already mentioned, we have grocery stores and that provide goods and services to the community, including like stores, restaurants, and retail shops. Historical trends and global processes, like some of our other peers already mentioned. Firebaugh was initially a ferry trade, where I forgot the guy's name, but let me search it up real quick. Firebaugh is named. Who is Firebaugh named after? So this guy, Andrew Firebaugh, who was born in Virginia, it's named after him. I need to do more research on why, and then I'll write that on my paper. But anyway, I'm going off topic. The ferry was to trade goods, like gold, food, and all that stuff, until the creation of the bridges. That's something I read. I'm still not well informed, but it's something I learned. Now let's go to globalization. Like I mentioned, the products are a part of global supply chains, with very big important exports to international markets, like I already mentioned, particularly nuts, fruits, and vegetables. The trade agreements. International trade agreements have opened up new markets, but also introduced competition from other agricultural procedures worldwide. So this little town is competing with worldwide companies. Technological advancements, like I mentioned, the adoption like GPS, drones, and data analytics have revolutionized the farming practices, making them more efficient and sustainable. For example, with GPS, tractors nowadays, instead of being manual, they use the GPS to have an autopilot and to see where it's going in the field. We call them surcos. I don't know what you would call them in English. Biotechnology. Okay. It's what I mentioned about the pesticides. They increase yields and resistance to pests and diseases. It's pretty cool. And yeah, that sums up almost everything I did. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you guys have any tips, please let me know. I have two screens right here, so that's why I keep on looking over here and I keep on looking over here. This is the computer and this is my monitor, and it's connected to each other. And I was gonna use this to look at the slides, but either way, I end up looking at that because I was gonna look all stupid just looking like this, even though this is a better profile for me. I'm just playing. But anyway, enough commercial. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if any of you actually even see it, I hope you guys liked it. And yeah, 26